Welcome back, and now let's take you through the newspapers and share with you the major stories making headlines across Nigeria. This morning, we're joined by Public Affairs Analyst Habib Aruna. Good morning, and thanks for joining us.
Good morning.
All right. We'll kick off with the daily independent newspapers this morning, see what we can find. It says, rising insecurity, reps more targets for IGP service chiefs to check poor performance, want appraisal to form basis of reappointment and disengagement. We can also find here, Serap writes, Trump seeks return of Nigeria's stolen assets and ban on corrupt officials. Don't sacrifice education sector for IMF, ASU tells Tinubu. And also, Vandals destroy 18 transmission towers in 5 days. TCN laments. And also, here, refutes allegations, vows to defend reputation. Which are, well, not very many other major stories. Labour Party crisis, Nanadi Usman-led caretaker committee heads to Supreme Court. Shetima to represent Tinubu at World Economic Forum meeting in Davos. These are the big stories on the Daily Independent newspapers this morning. All right, let's move to This Nigeria newspapers.
Right. Okay, let's look at This Nigeria. This Nigeria on the front page there says, Niger tanker explosion, 80 buried in mass grave. 55 in critical condition as death toll rises to 86. Tinubu can senators mourn, describe tragedy as unfortunate. National Assembly alleges ghost projects in Steel Development Ministry. Interesting. Calls for forensic audit by independent auditors. Over 300 billion naira owed in rights of occupancy in FCT. Wike vows to charge electricity vandals with economic sabotage. Criminals, kidnappers, headsmen disguised as IPOB ESN. Next year report insists most kidnapping incidents carried out by bandits. And that's all we have on the front page of This Nigeria.
And I think we could quickly just throw in the punch this morning. NLC faults fresh petrol price hike, says federal government is insensitive. Labor fears hike would fuel food crisis. Increase in line with rising crude price, says Dangote. Interesting. Very interesting. Also, Labour Party crisis. OT's caretaker panel drags Abure before Supreme Court. Mass deportation fear border closure as Trump returns to White House. Edo Tribunal, police tighten security as violence rises. 89,000 Nigerians denied Schengen visa in 2 years, says the report. And Catholic Church suspends Delta priest over secret U.S. wedding. Of course, Gaza, UN and others cheer as freed Israelis reunite with their families. We probably should start with the petrol price crisis. It seems like there's a scarcity in different parts of Lagos and Nigeria generally. Fears are that the price is, of course, going to increase again. Dangote says market forces.
Well, it should be expected, because since the government says it's not to be driven by market forces, there are nothing the Nigerians can do about it. If the price of oil rises globally, the price of crude rises globally, there's no way to now affect us here locally. So what we are saying is Dangote, who owns the biggest refinery in Nigeria, is importing crude to refine, buying crude at what price? And so there's no way Dangote will bring his fuel to Nigeria, sell his fuel to Nigeria at a cheaper price.
Yeah. And
that is why you see, Dangote is a businessman. I don't problem with that. But I'm not happy going by the precedents and antecedents of Dangote as a monopolist. I won't be comfortable if Dangote is the one controlling the price of fuel in Nigeria. I'll be comfortable. Even though Dangote said yesterday that according to these fuel stations, MRS and Hidden, will be selling at $9.75. That's what they said. But it's not confirmed yet that what they are doing. So the government needs to be more proactive, more imaginative, so that they will provide more crude to Dangote to reduce the price. You see, most Nigerians were thinking that when Dangote come into operation, that would be Uhuru.
No, they weren't thinking that. They were told that. The Nigerian government.
That was the thinking. You know, but Dangote is now telling us that, my friend, I'm buying my crude from all over the world. And if the price is increasing, I cannot come here and tell him to you at a cheaper rate. So I will increase my own. And once Dangote is increasing his own, NNBC and other marketers increase their own too. So in Nigeria are the one at the receiving end. So it's not, I don't think it's a palatable news. If NNC may be crying, but the fact remains that the market forces will determine the price.
Yep.
And government has a duty to protect the common man. That's the angle I'm looking at. And I'm not, as I said, I'm not comfortable with my experience of Dangote sugar, cement, to now be fixing the price of fuel. We've been a mess.
Yeah. Will any of that change if Port Harcourt and Warri refinery truly
they don't have the capacity? And we're talking about around 650,000 barrels per day. It's the biggest in Africa, if not in the third world. So Dangote will continue to dictate the price. But the government is not responsible to sit down and think of how do we counter this? How does it better the life of Nigerians, other Nigerians that go to buy fuel at the fuel station? You know, let's give benefit of the doubt that Aden and MRS will sell at a cheaper rate. But from what I'm saying, queue are beginning to surface in most stations across Lagos. I don't know if anywhere about the country. So I'm not comfortable with what is going on.
All right. Anyway, let's go to Daily Independent. Let's look at this particular story. Vandals destroy 18 transmission towers in 5 days. TCN laments. There's been a constant statement put out there by TCN, not forgetting to. The Minister of Power had said so, that they are highly affected by vandals who destroy both transmission towers and so on, impacting heavily on electricity. What's your take?
But for how long are we going to be at the mercy of these vandals? Consistently, there have been the news, vandals destroying cables, vandals destroying electricity. The activities is affecting power supply in the country. For how long? I was thinking that TCN will be in collaboration with security operatives, security agencies to secure these states, to protect them. And these are government assets. What are they doing about it? They're always lamenting, you know. I was thinking that by now there will be concrete steps taken by both TCN and the federal government. Where is the National Security Advisor on this matter? Why are we continuing to be? The other one, the other time they said that there was no collapse of the national grid, and there was problem, and the TCN was having problem with vandals. So I don't think this is tenable. Are we saying that non-state actors are more powerful than government? I think more should be done by both the TCN and the security agencies to protect these national assets. It's not acceptable to me. Stop lamenting. What are they doing? What are they doing about it? And what is the federal government doing? What are the security agencies doing about it to protect the national assets? Because you know, as well as we have this disruption by vandals, it affects ultimately power supply. So what are they doing about it? What is the concrete thing they're doing about it? You should be asking these questions. And Nigeria should demand that they should come out and address us, what they are doing about it, concrete thing they're doing about it, to protect national assets. This frequent disruption by vandals.
And it's not the first time that this is happening.
All the time. They should keep, I don't like this lamentation. You know, there should be a way of securing it.
All right. This Nigerian newspapers this morning.
We're not discussing the petrol something.
You're going there.
We're
going there.
Niger tanker explosion, 80 buried in mass grave, 55 in critical condition as death toll rises to 86. Tinubu, Khan, and senators mourn describe tragedy as unfortunate.
Very, very sad again. You know, it's a sad commentary. What we saw on Saturday was a sad scenario. A combination of poverty and ignorance. It will keep on happening. It will continue to happen. You know, when the thing happened, when the truck fell down, where were security operatives? Where were the police? I was thinking that based on the experience we had in Jigawa, the police should be everywhere, trying to ward off people from going near the scene. But the police were nowhere, or the police were overwhelmed. So people went there ignorantly that this thing might explode. They went there scrubbing fuel on the ground, and all of a sudden, it exploded. You need to see when I saw the video yesterday, I felt very bad. Then the government will come to tell you, they issue statement. With the state government, the police, emergency officials, are nonsense. For how long? And that will be the story. That will be most global network will pick it. You know, because in journalism, when it bleeds, it leads.
Yeah.
Bad news is good. It's good news in the media. So we have lost more than 200 people in the past 1 year to this tanker explosion. Why must we? You can do bring people that are very poor. They want to go and tap from it. How do you educate them that don't go there? It's deadly. It's something that is a very dangerous thing.
Do you think, I mean, the president has commissioned a team to look into it because it's happening rather too much. We saw, like I mentioned earlier on, we did see what took place in Delta State in Agbo, and now we're seeing another one. And like we also said in the morning,
look at the one in Jigawa.
Jigawa as well.
Just a few weeks ago.
Just a few weeks ago. And like we said, if you give Nigerians the opportunity, if a tanker should fall not far off from where our station is, Nigerians will still go there.
They will still go there.
So do you think it's a case of orientation? I mean, I remember back, permit me to say, in your heydays back then, I mean, we were way, way younger. We used to hear adverts on radio where they were done via announcements on Radio 1 and so on. This is a public announcement. Nigerians, if you see this, avoid. It was some form of orientation. Do you think we've lacked that in years? Because the agencies are no longer doing public service announcements, apart from the National Television Authority, NTA, where I see it. I mean, we're News Central, we're here. I think this should be spread across all media platforms. Orientation, don't you think it's key?
We are raising a very congent issue. During the last Dipeku in Jigawa, I said on the national radio, on the national TV, that what is the National Orientation Agency doing? There is poverty in the land, which makes that kind of thing attractive to people that are not reasonable. But the government has a duty. Let them know the danger of going near any falling tanker. You know, I think I agree with you. God is about education. Because poverty is there. So one will be jeered towards doing something stupid. But at the same time, if there is enough and robust orientation, education, people will be mindful, you know, of getting near that kind of thing in the future. So the government can do more rather than coming out after any incident, after any tragedy. We need to see the video yesterday.
I think I'm going to stick with the very first point that you made, which is, and you know, I made this point earlier, that it is a clear sign of also our institutional and systemic failure as a country.
Yeah, correct.
Because yes, people would be silly. It's human nature every now and then that you see people take very, very, you know, certain risks. Poverty in Nigeria is at that level where people would say, okay, even if this is the only source of a meal that we would have for the next couple of days, let's go and grab the oil and sell it.
Let's take that risk.
It's on that level. But the institutional failure in Nigeria is what has made a situation like that to occur. You do not have 5 police vehicles present to cordon the area and ensure that nobody comes close to it. It's the same reason that you do not have police vehicles available and a fire truck immediately 5 minutes away to ensure that immediately this, you know, disaster happens, there's a fire truck present there in 5, 7, 10 minutes max. It's institutional failure. And so I feel like the Nigerian, and unfortunately, when these things happen, because there's no punishment for the failure that we're talking about here, we would not see an improvement in the processes or in the policies. We're not going to see that because of what has happened in Niger State now, there will be better funding for police and fire service. Well, it's not going to happen. You know, so the president is going to set up his committee. The committee is going to ask a couple of questions. In a couple of days, the committee would wrap up its work and go home. But we will never improve on our processes and the standards of, you know, with which we do things, because the government in Niger State is not going to be punished for its failure
at all. It's not about the government of Niger State. It's about the tanker driver. It's about the company that sent the driver to deliver fuel somewhere.
So
it's about
there's a pressure of blame for everybody.
it's about the police. That there was a DPO in that vicinity. Do we have an effective and efficient fire service in that locality? So you are saying what you are saying is very apt and destructive. You know, the government has a responsibility of making sure that citizens are safe. The government is not doing that. So how can we be having incessant killing of innocent people? You know, it's a twin thing: ignorance and poverty. And the root cause of it is poverty, my brother. My brother, it's poverty.
Not just poverty in terms of hunger, but also poverty in terms of the mind.
Absolutely, absolutely. You see many big men going around with policemen. We don't have enough police to secure the country, to make sure that people are doing the right thing. As this thing happened, police should control the area. This thing will not happen. I was even told that police were among the people that died.
Yeah. I mean, that's another inside story.
You know, so we need to be very careful. The scenario, the picture you just painted. I mean, I love it. But I wish that it will not happen again next time.
Well,
so we spoke about Jigawa, you know.
Both issue
orientation
is very, very key. There's local radio in dialects.
Local radio
go
in
near
dialects.
there.
In
Don't go there.
In the northern dialect.
Yes.
Use that.
Tell them not to go near there. If you happen today, they will still go there and score for
Of course.
You know. So and I think the core thing, the structural, is an issue of poverty. Behavioral, yeah, people can be very stupid, but structural is poverty. Like, this should be done to improve people's welfare in the country.
I can tell you that if they throw a squid game out there and they put fuel tank and Nigerians have to cross to park, a lot of Nigerians would attempt that game because they will be looking, they believe that they would scoop the fuel and they would escape. I don't know how that is done. Let's take one last story very quickly as we look set to wrap things up here. I think, Osage, you wanted to take another one, Glennie?
Yeah, I mean, I think I was going to chip in the Labour Party crisis as Nana Usman and the rest head to Supreme Court. Yeah, but also, if you could also chip in your thoughts. Surprisingly, didn't make the headlines this morning, the EFCC story from over the weekend. I don't know if you were following the story.
Absolutely. Absolutely. The EFCC went to arrest someone. And those guys came out with guns and attacked the officials, killing one of the officials in the process. That is taking it in a new dimension. You know, insofar as I want the EFCC to be more civil in their approach in tackling this issue of corruption. They should be more civil. The way they and manner they arrest these people is not in any way in conformity to the normal convention. You know, go there, arrest you. You can go to nightclub, you go to lounge, you know, maltreat you anyhow. So these people also are finding a way to protect themselves, you know. But I think it's dangerous. It should be condemned by all Nigerians. And it's also good to say that they should now be more prepared. They're going to confront these fraudsters. You know, these people are becoming very angry.
Yeah, but I don't think we have confirmed 100% that this person was an internet fraudster. You know, it's what the EFCC's claim is. You know, he will have his day in court. You know,
but the official died. The official died, so we have to give the EFCC the benefit of the doubt.
Yeah, the official died.
Absolutely.
You know, but I think what many Nigerians are reacting to, first of all, the things that you pointed out, which is the processes have made a lot of Nigerians lose faith and trust in the EFCC.
Yeah.
So you don't even see a lot of people sympathizing with the EFCC about this case.
No,
and also with the fact that, you know, the EFCC's chairman, Olawolukoye, they had banned night raids, you know, in 2023, November 2023. And this, you know, case happened at night, 3, 4 a.m. So if you are, you know, you are asleep at 3 a.m.
You can't go to my house and arrest me by midnight.
You can imagine. And so
I won't go to anywhere.
As much as it's easy to simply say, I mean, it's pretty much the same thing the Nigerian police were doing then. Anybody who has dreads is a fraudster, and that's what they do, brutalize you, throw you into their truck, and then when you get to the station, explain yourself, collect money from you somehow, some way. And, you know, we started criminalizing looking a certain way or driving certain cars, you know, by simply just calling them fraudsters. So it's I don't know, well, the EFCC will need to also follow through with
of course.
prove that this person was actually
must prove it.
And all of that. The gun, the presence of a gun, whether it's licensed or unlicensed, that's left for him to deal with, you know, when he gets to court. But the point is, the EFCC has failed to take any responsibility for a failure of its processes that led to this officer's death.
You know, they have to defend it and prove to Nigerians what truly took place and what happened. Because it's unjustifiable to go to a man's house midnight around 3 o'clock, 3 a.m. in the morning to try to arrest him. I don't think any society will allow that. But at the same time, everything should be commended, you know, for doing their job as enshrined in the Constitution of Nigeria. Someone died, person died. So the justice should be paid, and that should be appreciated. You know, there was a time my son, a lawyer, and his friends were going to play ball at the island. They were inside the Zanuba, and a policeman came to them that one of the guys was having a deadlock. He said, "You should come down." And my son was laughing. "If you should come down and do what? You are not coming down. You can't force us to come down." So the Uber driver was not telling the policeman that. They're talking to a lawyer because they are young boys. Oh, the policeman said, "Sorry, I'm sorry." And he left them. So that's the kind of mentality that these security operatives have. When they see you, they're not. There was an official at the U.S. Embassy when I was going there in 2001, 2002. The man had dreadlocks. And that was the consular general. Yes, he had dreadlocks. So what are we talking? So these people need to be oriented. They need to be educated to know that your appearance does not connote what they may have in mind.
We have a lot.
And then on the labor matter, it's unfortunate. Because me for one, as a political writer, I believe that there is there's a third hand in this crisis, in labor, between Abure, Obi, and other officials of the party. And I don't know what Abure is fighting for. You cannot play Hamlet without the press. Obi is the symbol of that party. You cannot dislodge Obi from labor. I want Nigeria to support it. The symbol of that party is Peter Obi. And that was why they did very well in the last election. And you know the natural character of Nigerian politics. They want to destroy it before the next election. So I see Abure playing the role of a Judas. And I don't trust that man, Abenishio. Just like what is happening in PDP, something is replicating itself in Labour Party. It's not a natural thing. Is it infestation everywhere? That's the problem we have in Nigerians. They cannot keep. They cannot. How do I even describe it? They cannot be consistent. Yeah. You know, to make sure that success is protected. You know, so it's good for them to go to the Supreme Court. Let the court decide. Maybe eventually there will be peace and stability in the Labour Party.
Thank you so much, Mr. Habib Aruna, for always being here, especially on the Monday morning. Very interesting insight into some of the major stories making headlines.
We will not discuss the Trump matter. The Trump.
We will have you come back for that. I'm sure we'll have you come back this week because we want to look at different aspects of that. And besides, we also have a guest who's joining us, and she's waiting. She'll be joining us on the Trump issue because she's been following it closely. Hopefully, she'll also be at the inauguration. Maybe she'll give us more insights into that.